Now to an NBC4 exclusive. NBC4 Investigates has learned a number of employees at the LA County Medical Examiner's Office are now being investigated for possibly accessing sensitive files without permission.
The investigation started after the LAPD went to court to lock down the autopsy file of Celeste Rivas, the teenage girl allegedly murdered by the pop singer known as David.
NBC4 investigative reporter Leonard joins us live now with more on this. Eric.
Hi there. So we've heard from a number of our sources that more than a dozen employees, including investigators and administrative workers, have been ordered to begin appearing for interviews with county officials to answer questions about possible rule violations at the medical examiner's office. All of this having to do with whether they were looking at investigative documents they didn't have specific authorization to view. The LA County Department of Medical Examiner gave NBC4 Investigates a no comment when we asked about this internal investigation. But several law enforcement sources and other officials familiar with this tell us it's about whether some employees were prowling around in files that may have been off limits. The unions that represent the medical examiner's investigators and the office's administrative workers both confirm these investigation letters have been sent to their members, the employees. The unions decline to share any specifics, but say they trust the county will do a fair and impartial investigation. Now, the sources tell us that concerns about file access grew following the discovery of the remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That's the teenage girl allegedly murdered by pop singer David, whose legal name is David A. Burke. Rivas's remains were found last September in an abandoned Tesla registered to Burke. And then in the weeks after the discovery, grisly details about the condition of her body began to appear in news reports. In fact, the LAPD asked the medical examiner to seal the file while the case was under investigation. Initially, the office refused. Then the police got a court order to lock down the file, but the leaks continued. And that could be the reason that this internal investigation began. So right now, it's not clear how many medical examiner employees have received investigation letters. And so far, no conclusions have been reached about whether anyone at the office broke any of these rules. The singer David is due in court tomorrow for a pretrial hearing in his murder case. He's also scheduled to appear later this month for a preliminary hearing, and that's where prosecutors will have to lay out the evidence they plan to present at a murder trial. Live in the newsroom, I'm investigative reporter Leonard, NBC4 News. Back to you.